Hello, good morning, every single person out there. Good morning. Thank you for joining me in this beautiful edition of Knocks to Nuggets. For everyone joining me live, thank you so much. And for those that would watch thereafter, I say thank you. And like I will always ask you, please pass a comment, share this video, and just let me know what you feel. And then turn on the notification button so that every time I come on live, you would know. You don't want to miss any live edition of Knocks to Nuggets. Repeat is good, but live is greater and is better. So let's do it live together every Monday, 7:45. So today we are continuing on what we started with last week. Last week we started a powerful topic, building an enduring business, and I had a guest in the house, Chef Boniface. Today I didn't make the mistake. I knocked him off before coming on so that you won't get to know, but it's a part 2, so you already know. So it's okay, we'll have him coming on shortly. But like you know, he's a highly resourceful, creative, exceptional business executive. He is the president of Sumptuous Group International, and he's just a wonderful personality. You want to know more about him? Go watch the part 1. So today I'm bringing him on, but I want to just remind you of the last things I said last week. He said business must be built on passion. He said that so strongly last week, and I just want to remind you. He said the other ingredients he mentioned, talked about hard work, diligence, focus, and the readiness to pay the price. That is so huge, the readiness to pay the price. So this week, I'm bringing him on as we continue this series. Welcome on this show, Chef Boniface. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure being here. Good morning and good evening from here.
Yes, and good evening from there. Thank you so much. Last week we had a good time out with you, and the reviews have been awesome. Thank you so much for being such a huge blessing. But you were talking last week, and you said you wished everybody will be in business, but business is not for everybody. And that's, for me, it sounded like a contradiction. Can you build on that briefly before we move on this week?
All right, business is not for. I said business is supposed to be for everyone, but it's not for everyone. It's not for everyone because it's not for the faint in heart. If you are not strong enough to withstand what is going on in the business world, I think you should just remain where you are. People are cut out for paid employment. There is nothing bad about that. You can go on what you're doing. You build a career for yourself. There is this notion about business that I've come to realize that one key thing that business make business successful and make entrepreneurs to be very successful and build on, a lasting legacy for themselves, is the fact that they spend so much time building on what an ancient belief that practice that we have carried out over the years back in Africa, and even here in the United States and all over the world, they see practice it. It is called apprenticeship and mentoring. And I've discovered those two things, even though they are different words, but they work together. Apprenticeship for some people is like, when you mention apprenticeship, they say, oh, you want me to be a slave for someone? I can't go serve anyone. But you see, your business will be sustained if you go on apprenticeship and find yourself a mentor that will able to keep you on and you learn as you go. I think we are where we are because we submit ourselves into mentoring. I went through apprenticeship over the years, building my career. So that's why, today there is nothing I have seen that is new because I have been there. I've seen it all while I was going through my tutelage. So it's very, 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 very important. That's why I made that statement. Business is not for everyone, but I wish that everyone should come in business because it is a good thing to do. But if you are not ready, so please continue to be on your paid employment. That's the apprenticeship you are going through right now.
Wow. Thank you so much. And And I didn't discuss this with you, but it's interesting. I have a special edition of Nuts to Nuggets coming up on the 7th of December. And guess what we are talking about? Mentorship. I have three wonderful people joining me in that edition to talk about mentorship because it's really lacking. Even in the career path, you need somebody to hold you by the hands. But we're in a generation that thinks we know it all. And why should I submit to somebody? Mm. Thank you so much for that. Let's move on this week because time is beautiful and is our friend. What has been your biggest challenge in business and how did you overcome it?
Wow, that's a very, very interesting question. I think starting out, the first thing that I struggle with the fact that the environment that I was in as at that time was not really encouraging. Uh, our environment didn't encourage, as at that time, didn't encourage young entrepreneurs to start out, and the banks wouldn't lend you any money. So I was faced with the challenge of raising funds. You have the skill, needed skill. You have everything. It says you spend time praying and trusting God, and God has really given you a pathway. So this is what you want to do, and you have a vision that you want to build on, but you just couldn't lay hand on anything. So the biggest challenge was one, the fund, the capital needed to actually carry out my venture. And when actually lay hand on a few funds, it became a very difficult thing to actually have people to help you, see what they are seeing. People that were able to run with the vision that you have. The kind of business I do back home in Africa, especially in Nigeria, it's difficult to actually see people that will be willing to work for you. We are in the food business and there is no school. Over the years, I've turned out graduate in the area of, my business. You hardly will you see someone that wants to work as a chef. Hardly will you see someone that wants to serve in a restaurant. Everybody wants to put on the tie and put on the blue collar and go to work. But that's the biggest challenge that I face. One, getting the right people to work and getting the right fund. The fund needed to actually, run out their, start their venture. It's a difficult thing. It was a difficult thing to do.
Wow. Funding, particularly when you are just starting out, always is a challenge. So, how did you overcome it?
All right. I think now I can actually say boldly that most of the problem that we have, I mentor quite a few people, and they will say, "Well, I think I need fun to actually drive my dream." I will tell them it's not fun that you need. What you need is skill. If you actually acquire all the skill you need, as I mentioned earlier, if you know the area you want to, really, dwell on, and you learn something in those areas, and you build yourself, develop yourself, yes, you are good to go. But definitely, you still need money. You need the fund that will drive it. I think what helped me in that area was that I started small. I started to just, I had a big picture of what I wanted to do. My dream was so big. I remember then they used to call me a man with a big head because when I open my mouth, you will hear so many things I want to be in the next 5 years. I could tell you in 10 years, this is what I want to be, this is what I want to do, this is what I want my company to look like, even though there was nothing. So I had a very loud mouth. Something in my head was telling me it is possible. But look, I looked at it that if I was waiting for 10 million naira then, 5 million naira, I was not going to start. I wouldn't start anything. So I started all the same. I started small with the little that I have, or little that I had then. Sorry, the little that I had then. I started small. Just, the big dream that you have, begin to pieces them, slice them to pieces and pick one out of it and begin with it. That's exactly what I did. So we didn't wait for the 10 million because there was no way we could get the 10 million. So I started with 2,000. I know so many people will be wondering 2000 and how many years ago. Somebody mentioned it, said, oh, that was how many years ago? But 2000, I'm not talking about 10, 20 years ago. I'm talking about just a few years ago. So 2000 was what I started with.
Wow. 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 Started with 2000 and today is intercontinental, is in Africa, is in America. And I'm sure it's probably planning to conquer Europe soon and started with 2000. So it starts small, but have a big vision. Start small, but have a big vision. There's a phrase I've heard many times, and I want to throw it at you and ask, how true is it? I've had this phrase several times. Business is warfare.
Hmm.
What's your opinion of that phrase?
I think people should know that it's actually warfare.
Wow.
They are going to war. It's like, I read a book, The Red and the Blue Ocean. You are not the only one who want to be in business. People attend business schools, and they know that business is good. It's good to be in business. Some people want to pay that price. They made up their mind that that's what they want to do. So you are not alone. It's a very busy, it's a very tense place. Everybody wants to play in that field. It's like a football match. Everybody, all the two teams that are playing, want to be a winner. Everybody wants, the two teams are struggling to be, whether you are Chelsea or you are Arsenal, they want to be the winner at the end of it all. So it's a red ocean. Everybody, that's why people go to any lengths to get things done. Some trust in their own gods. Some trust in something, but we trust in God, believing Him that, if you are not here with me, I can't succeed. Because it's as serious as it is. It's a warfare. So if you are not serious with it, you fence along the road. I always say this to people. I think I picked it from the book of Luke. He says, "See that a man intended to build a city, sitting down first to count the cost." That cost there is not just about money. It's about the strength you have. Who is backing you up? Because it's a warfare. The marketplace is a warfare. Are you ready for the war? Because people are there. There are other contestants who are there like you. There are competitors who are there like you. I remember when we opened a place in the mall, and it was just 1 year after, another competitors came, and they were very big in size, big name. That's war. So are you ready for the war? So it's not for the faint heart. You must equip yourself ready to fight the war. When I say fight the war, you see, the weapon of our warfare, the Bible says, is not carnal. So also in business, it is who knows better that succeed well. What do you know that your competitors don't know? So soak yourself. Learn things that your competitors will be looking. I remember so many, I don't want to mention name. I know how many big firms who has walked into some shops to say, what are they doing here? Why do we see the queue? Why is the line so long? And the name goes on. The list goes on and on. Everywhere we mention, anywhere you see some shops, you see the queue. You know why? Because some things that we've soaked ourselves in. Grace is one. But we develop ourselves, because it's a marketplace. If somebody is going to, floor you off, take your position and take your space. So it's a warfare. I agree with you. It is a warfare. You must.
Wow, it is a warfare. So you've just got to learn to do it right. While we are still talking about warfare, so what will be your advice to somebody who just wants to start the business? Is working hard to start a business. What will be your counsel to that person at this time?
Start now. Don't wait any longer. I met a woman some years ago. I used to have I think we had a bus, some had a bus, and we rode on that bus, and we described our name on it. And when my driver was, I like riding on that bus anyway. And I was there with my driver, I think with my wife in. And as we navigate through Oshodi, on top of Oshodi, okay, and we're coming down, and the woman stopped. He said, stop, flag us down. And we stopped. He said, oh, this is the name that God gave me long ago. I have been waiting. I have been waiting. So if you are set to do a business, if you are convinced that that's what you want to do, don't wait any longer. Start now. This is the right time to start. Start now. Don't wait until everything is complete. Remember, I told you I started with 2,000. Don't wait until you have the 10 million. Now is the right time. Somebody asked me when. Now. Under the pandemic, right now is the right time for you to start. Don't wait any longer. My advice is that if that's what you want to do, start. And start now. If it is free, start now. If it's online, start now. Whatever it is, start now. People are still building houses. People are still buying stuff, even with the condition we find ourselves right now. So this is the right time for you to start. Don't wait. Start. You know, Nike, I love their sign. He said, if you want to do it, just do it now.
True. Wow, just do it now. Before we go, I want to play this clip. I was going to play it last week. I forgot, but I remember now. So I'm playing this clip. And after that, I have a last question for you. So here we go.
What is it? I put
That was that clip. You are laughing. That is that clip. How does it feel working in that environment, being the boss over a multiracial company? How does it feel?
Honestly, my reverend, I must tell you, it's so fulfilling. One, because this is a young man that came all the way from Africa, and now I'm here to the United States, and I'm employing people, just as you said. In that restaurant, we had 16 employees, and there's only one that is a black man among them.
Wow.
All of them are either Hispanic or American. So I think it's quite interesting. Interesting in the sense that when you give yourself to your passion, what God has called you to do. Each time I say this, I feel like, tears drop from my eyes because I know where I started from. The 2000 that I started many years ago has grown to become what we are seeing. That we didn't plan for that video, but I believe God just wanted it to, for you to have it. And it's quite interesting, so fulfilling. Each time I look at it and I look at where we are today, I can only return all the grace to God. There is always God's factor in whatever we do. So if you take him, and that's why I said it's a warfare. So if this is a warfare, you can't fight it alone. Allow him. Go along with him. Allow him to go with you wherever we go. One key word that we always say to people is this. That when we started out, we told God, if you can't go with us, so we are not ready to go. And he assured us that whatever we do, he will always be there. That's why, we are going where we are going. And we are not there yet. We will surely get to our destination. So it's so fulfilling seeing that happen. So fulfilling. So fulfilling.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Chef Boniface. It's been so awesome. Thank you to everyone who is on the call, who is watching on Facebook, on YouTube, and those of you that watch thereafter. Thank you so much. Last week was an amazing success. It was like a chat buster. And I know that this week, people are gleaning from it. They are learning from it. But just don't just listen. Don't just learn. Act. Knowledge is not power, it's only potential power. When you act, then you release the power in it. Thank you so much, Chef Boniface, for these 2 sessions you have had with us. Awesome time out. You have been so real, so direct, so educative. Thank you, and so inspiring. Thank you so much. I will not forget this. Business is warfare. No matter how big the dream is, Ramatu says, begin with it. Just begin. Break it into pieces and start. Innovation and consistency, Gilbert says, will deliver even in warfare. So true. Thank you to everyone that's been with us on this call. Thank you so much, Chef Boniface. I know it's midnight with you there. Thank you for staying up to be a part of it. And everybody, I'm beginning the big announcement. December 7, watch out. There is an awesome edition coming your way. You don't want to miss it. And until next week, when I come your way again, another edition of Knocks to Nuggets. Don't ever forget it. Together we win. Thank you so much. I appreciate you and I love you all. God bless you.